I put the link to part 1 in the description in case you missed it. I forgot to mention in part 1 that this interview took place in a hotel lobby at 3 a.m. here in Las Vegas. This was after hanging out for about 6 hours, so the audio isn't perfect and we're tired and hungry, but I did not want to miss out on the chance for Scoop to share stories about the industry. He's a fascinating guy who's as connected as anyone in the music business. Let's begin. So a lot of my channel is about the kind of exposing what you see on social media. And in the music industry, a lot of it is image to sell. A lot of these artists use their social media as a way to sell. So can you speak on just a lot of what you see on social media might not be reality?
Right. Listen, the music industry in general is a mirage. Even down to videos, you see dudes, I mean, I've been in many video shoots where dudes will be behind you and tough dudes, and when the camera go off, the artists don't know any of the people. Okay? The women, you don't know the women. There's only a few people that when you get to a certain level and you're rich enough, you know these dudes, you know these dudes, you know these women. But other than that, it's a facade, it's a game. You know, these kids are coming with a bunch of money and putting it to their ear. What the fuck is that? I'm not saying, I'm not downing it because I was young at a certain time too. But that could be a bunch of ones and hundreds on the top. It don't mean nothing. You got a bunch of money coming out the side of your pocket. It could be all ones, it could be paper, it could be 100. It's all a game. A lot of rappers wear fake jewelry. It's just a fact. Because why would you put your money into all of that? And the smart ones wear fake jewelry. Why are you going to dump all your money into something that's on your neck?
Especially when they get it personally branded, so it's only to them.
Right. So what are you doing? All of it is fake, man. Because it's music is to make you feel good, and it's also inspirational to an extent, and that's all inspiration. You got the car, you got the woman, you got the money, you got the house. But in the beginning, when you're not popular, you don't have a lot of that stuff. So this is the only game where you can literally talk about shit you don't have and make it look amazing.
And blow up and make a lot of money.
And make a lot of money.
But in a lot of ways, you're using the record label's money.
Well,
right?
No, not in a lot of ways. You are using the record label's money. Again, let's go back to the record label. It's a bank, okay, that you have to pay. People think that this is all like, you know, this is all fun and games. No, you have to pay that back. So the record label will throw a party for you and charge you for your own fucking party. I mean, a record label will... So what will happen is a record label will throw a party for you and then charge you for the party that they threw for you. When people get really smart about all of the expenses, and that's usually on your second or third go round, you say, listen, we're going to cut a lot of this down. And especially, like I said, things that killed us years ago now help us. You can't play the free goods game. There's no free goods with downloads. It's free. You make it once, you send it out. There's a lot of things that the labels can't finagle and play games with. Cost of goods and they can't do a lot of things. So some things that were bad in a time when we were making a lot of money, they switched over to here, and we make less money, but there's less of this too. So it's just how you look at it.
A lot of my comments on the videos are saying, artists have known this for years. Why do people keep signing the contracts and falling into it? Do you have anything to say to the artists that keep signing these deals that then they keep talking about it?
Very simple. When you are an artist and you sign this deal, usually you don't have a damn thing. Okay? You are hungry and you don't have anything. So your position of leverage is very low. Or you have nothing, you don't know nothing, and you have a level of ignorance. Okay? So those three things together allow people to take advantage of you. Every musician gets taken advantage of. It's just how much do you get taken advantage of?
I think what's tricky about the music business is the upside is such fame, fortune, or all this image that the record label wants you to put out as well. So I think it's easier, not necessarily to manipulate, but it's easier to get people to sign deals. Hey, here's $500,000. To them, that's a lot of money. But of course they're going to sign. They don't even ask questions.
Well, here's the thing. I was signed as a young man to Teddy Riley. Okay, that was my first record deal that I got in my life. Maybe 17 years old, 18 years old. Teddy was the musical man behind it, but his manager was the business end. I never spoke to Teddy about anything but music, my mentor, but the business had to deal with his manager. And that's just the way it is. I had no negotiating position. So I couldn't argue on certain things. And listen, I was more astute than the average team. I got a lawyer. I said, listen, we gotta read these contracts. We gotta do this and blah, 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 blah. Most, the people that were in my group were like, I don't care. I just want a car. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. I just want a car. I just want to go and be in front of women. And that's where they get you. Because you don't know anything. And you just want the fame. Fame is addicting. It's the biggest, forget cocaine, forget whatever they gave Michael Jackson to go to sleep. The best drug you could get, fame will knock it all out the box. And people want that.
Yeah. Now you've been in the music industry a long time. You've been in you've been in radio for a long time. So you mind speaking about your experience with the radio? Because you've been an artist and you've seen it on the other side, do you feel like labels do take advantage of artists? In order for them to make money, they have to sign the deals they sign. Would you agree or disagree?
Of course. But here's the thing. Again, you have no leverage. You have no leverage. You have no position. So what Booty Blue is going to get as opposed to what Russ is going to get is two different things. What Jay-Z got as opposed to what Artist X got, two different things. Because they build something. If you build something, people have to deal with you in a certain way, and here's why. Because if me and you build get down records, right? And we blow ourselves up and we sell, listen, we don't have to sell 30 million records. Let's say we sell 600,000 records regionally. We already made our little $3-4 million, right? So when record company X comes to us and says, hey, we want you to sign so and so and so. Explain to me how that's gonna work when I already do my thing out here and make X, Y, and Z regionally. Oh, well, we can put you on Jimmy Fallon. All right, well, listen, I don't need Jimmy Fallon right now. I'm still gonna make my XXX. Listen, we're prepared to offer you X amount of $1,000 or X amount of million. If somebody offers you X amount of thousand or X amount of million, you can damn sure know for sure that they're gonna 10X it in profit. So if a man offers you $1 million, they're gonna make $10 million. Well, it doesn't make sense from a business point of view. Case in point, Master P walks into the offices of Interscope Records and they say, listen, bro, we're gonna write you a check for $1 million. He sits down and he says, wait up, hold on. They say, listen, if you leave here, don't ever come back, right? Because that's the pressure. He was saying, look, man, either you do this right here, right now, or this is off the table. You gotta have guts, you gotta have intestinal fortitude, and you gotta have belief in yourself to say, listen, if you're gonna offer me that $1 million, there's somebody who's gonna offer me 30 million out here. The bottom line is, this is the content business. If you have good content, somebody's gonna offer you some money. If you work hard, they're gonna offer you some money. The problem here with people is that they are lazy as shit. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to curse because YouTube will stop your monetization. The problem here is that artists are lazy as hell. No one wants to put in the work. The reason you get that deal is because you didn't put work in. Period. You don't get to dictate the terms when you ever put any work in. I'm taking you and I'm making you the thing. You're not coming to me as the thing. When you come to me as the thing, we can do a joint venture. We can do a P&D deal. We can do some type, whatever. P&D is promotion and distribution. You pay for the promotion, I do the distribution. Now we're talking about 80-10. We're talking about 85-15. We're talking about 90-10. Okay, we're going to distribute your joint. Boom. 10% for us. That's how Master P became a millionaire. Because he didn't take the regular contract. But he was in the position to do that because he was making noise on his own. If you want the right contract, you will have to make noise on your own, period.
You have been a producer. You've been in the industry doing many different things. Do you feel like you ever got put into a box? Or do you feel like anyone ever tried to put you into a box? And said, hey, you had losing control, Missy Elliott, we only want you to produce.
Because you know why? Don't let yourself be put in a box. Always think about the new move. So, I walked into certain situations because I was curious. Okay, so, at the beginning of EDM music, I was looking at hip hop and I was tired of it. I was like, man, it's the same damn music. We say everybody's tough, everybody this hoes, right? And I heard this music that was like bam, 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 bam. And I said, this is different. And I decided to take a chance on it. Now, at this time, I was the only person I was one of the few people, especially like myself. I went and just took a chance and I liked the music and I just did a bunch of records with people. I didn't allow myself to get put in a box. You can't get put in a box unless you put yourself in the box. Now, you can be known for something, but if you keep taking shots of, doing this and doing that and changing it up and doing this, then you'll never be put in a box. For me, my music is no music. My main music is hip hop, right? Okay, Lose Control, Be Faithful, It Takes Two, Sean Paul. That's all hip hop, R&B, and reggae. But my music is technically no music because you can put me on a reggae track. I've been on country records. I've been on EDM records. I've been on polka records. I've heard my voice on Frank Sinatra records. I've been blessed enough to have a voice that's a chameleon. You can put it on anything. So I don't deal with the being in a box where the average rapper or whatever may be in the box. And I always look for new opportunities. So I don't always look for just doing this with this person. I want to do this with this person. I want to do this with this person.
Probably the benefit of being independent.
Yeah, well,
in a way.
I think that it's not about being independent.
I feel like outside perspective, I feel like some labels try to label rappers. They want you to be this type of person, and you're only going to make music in this lane.
Well, let's talk about that. When you are a product of a label, this is a business. Unless you are Drake or somebody huge, you don't get to chart your direction. There are people there that say, we're looking for this kind of record for the ladies. This is your street look. You're going to do this for this. Because you got to remember, they're trying to sell a record. Fuck your artistry. I'm sorry. Forget your artistry. Forget your artistry. We're trying to sell units here. So we got to do something that the ladies like. And then we got to do something for the club. And this is your street record. You lose your creativity in that process. Okay? Most times.
I feel like this is where people use the word control.
Yes.
And they think artists get controlled. Because the label controls their direction.
So check this out. check this out. Right now, you give me $400,000 to buy the Lamborghini I want, right? You're gonna tell, I didn't spend $1 on this Lamborghini. Before we take it out, you're gonna give me instructions on how I'm gonna drive that car. Because you don't want it to come back broken, you don't want it to come back crashed, you don't want it to come back anything, right? So you're gonna tell me, listen man, when you make the turn on that corner, you better make the turn so and so and so and so, you better do this, this, and this. It's the same thing. We just laid out $1.8 million for you. You don't even know what you're doing. We know what we're doing. Now when you start selling records, and you turn around and you're TLC, or you're Drake, or you're Sean Paul, or you're whatever, now you have more of a leeway to take a chance. But in the beginning, if they're taking a chance on you, unless they really believe in you and what you're doing, you're going to do what you're told.
Do you feel like you ever made music just for money?
Definitely. I made a record that to this day I put my head down about. The most embarrassing record I've ever made in my life. I had to pay a bill, and I made a record that was so embarrassing to me that I still die over it. But there was a point in time where I absolutely had to pay that bill, and I had to make that record, and it was on the table, and I said that. I die over it every day, but there was a moment in time that I had to do that. If I don't have to, I won't do it again. But anybody can be compromised.
I heard something interesting the other day where it's like our morals are only as good as our situation. Meaning, like if the more desperate you get, the more you're kind of willing to wear.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I needed to pay a bill on that particular month, and it had to get paid. It was something like very serious, whatever it was, and I was short maybe $5,000 or $6,000, and this record came up, and in any other world, I would never do that damn record. But I said, listen, this is what it is, boom, 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 and I had to do it. I'll live with it because because of the internet, it lives in perpetuity, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Who comes to you, like when you're looking to make a record, someone says, Fatman Scoop, we want you on this record. Who starts the conversation? Is it the artist or is this?
Well, anything, a record label, a contact, a middleman, anybody say, listen, Scoop, we want you to do X, Y, and Z. I'm okay, cool, blah, 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 my assistant to take care of it. And they go, and I'll just be like, say they send it to my email. I'll just be like, listen, Ari, who's my assistant, Ari Rosenberg, Ari will take care of it. And then I give him Ari's information. Ari will go and do all the business with them, and he'll contact whatever. He'll say, listen, this is how much it costs. This is what it is. Here's the royalty points. Blah, blah, blah. Here's what he'll do. He'll do this. He'll do this. And they'll say, listen, if you want this, then it's this price. If you want this in the video, it's this price. If you want this and this in social media, it's this price. Because the thing that I notice is that when somebody makes a record with you, they want you to make the record and then put it on your social media. I'm not here to listen, I'm doing the record for you. I'm not here to do your work for you. Take the record, run, and go do your own thing. I'm not here to do the record and put it on my in front of my fans for you. Go do your thing. Again, trying to skirt the work.
Then when they come to you and they say, we're willing to pay, then you make a decision, maybe artistically. Do you feel like it's often that you don't want to work with someone, or is it generally that you get in the studio and try to figure it out?
No, here's what it is. I get the record and I'll be like, all right, here's how I do it. Simple. I get the record. I used to sit in the house and write for 5 and 6 hours and whatever. My new way is this. I get the record. If you send me a record today, I'm gonna take that record, I download it in the studio while I'm on the mic. Boom, we play that record. The first thing I do when that record comes on, the microphone is already, my Logic is set up, I put it in there, boom, I hit the record. Whatever's the first thing that comes out of my mouth, I'm going with that. Whatever that record's making me feel right now, I'm doing it. I'll go back and do one more pass. Like you were just going back to the beginning and starting all over again. I'll do one more pass. If I don't have something that I feel is right, thank you very much, it's been real. Because the first thing that usually comes out your mouth is the solution. That's the winner. There's only a few people that I know that could probably rewrite a record. Maybe somebody like R. Kelly who just has that talent to rewrite a record and write it over again. And like, whatever's the first thing that comes out of your mouth is usually the right thing.
Artist you'd be most excited to make a song with?
That's a tough one.
Maybe start with number 1, Rakim, on your MC list.
Rakim is a different kind of, it wouldn't work for that because it's two different kinds of music working. I'd say maybe Busta.
Busta Rhymes, I was going to say Busta Rhymes, the energy would be out of this world. You and LL would be incredible together.
I've done a record with LL. I've done the record with LL before. But I don't. It wouldn't even be like that. You know what it would be? Somebody like Ray Charles.
I feel like there'd be a crossover that could work in maybe the rock world.
You know, somebody in rock or somebody in country, the Charlie Daniels band, like somebody that I would love to do a record with somebody that made records in the 50s. Like, you know, I'm on that, man. I don't, for me, I don't listen to hip hop all day. I listen to things that are from the past because you can't learn the future without studying what you did before. The problem with today's artists, and I don't want to hate them, is they don't give a damn about the past.
You know what I love is you included The Game in your list of top 50 MCs.
I love The Game.
His homage paying to the previous generations is out of this world.
I love Game. I think Game is one of the best MCs to touch a mic. I clearly love The Game.